What's up, future millionaires? It's Mike the Investor. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Decentraland Metaverse project. Now, this video is jam-packed, so there are timestamps in the description below. Now, before we dive into today's video, this video is brought to you by Crypto.com. Now, one thing I like about Crypto.com, they have a lot of cryptos we can actually buy and sell, over 200 plus cryptocurrencies, and pretty much all of those you can buy and sell, you can remove those to your personal wallet. Now, when we look at the earn feature, they also give us the ability to earn passive income on our cryptocurrencies and our stable coins as well, which now brings me to Crypto.com Visa card. Now, there are no annual fees, and they offer different colors depending on what perks and benefits you want with your Crypto.com Visa card. Now, you just add the money on here and you are good to go. Now, let's move down briefly and just look at their cards that they offer. You can see Midnight Blue, Ruby Steel. They have two in this tier here, two in this tier, and then the biggest tier will be the black card. And so these are the Crow rewards you would get in cash back, and these are some of the perks and benefits that go along with these cards as well. And so if you'd like to check out Crypto.com for yourself and get $25 free in Crow, go ahead and click the Crypto.com link in the description below and use the promo code Mike. And don't forget there are timestamps as well in the description below if you want to look at some specific sections in this video. But let's dive into the price chart of Decentraland MANA cryptocurrency after this. Alright, crypto investors, welcome back to the channel. Now, according to CoinGecko, the cryptocurrency market is right around 2.7 trillion. We are currently down about 0.7%, and the 24-hour volume 159 billion. Now, as we look at Decentraland MANA, which is the cryptocurrency of Decentraland, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later, the current rank is number 40 out of the top 100. And if we look at the market cap, right at 5.8 billion, and the circulating supply 1.3 billion, max supply right under 2.2 billion. So it has a really small supply, and that's one thing I really like as well about Decentraland. So let's go ahead and move down here to the price here. And so if we just look a little bit further on how it's performed over the past year, you can see this baby is up 5,000%. On the 30-day is up 44%. 14 days up 30%, and then on the week it has been down 13.6%. Now, if we look at the all-time high on the far right, $5.85, which was actually 7 days ago, November 25th, 2021, and we can see October 31st, of course, was the all-time low when it was actually launched. And so if we just go to the 180-day chart, and so looking at the beginning of June, we can see MANA was around 7 cents. It pulled down to around high fours, got up to 5 cents, built support, and then this baby literally just shot up in October all the way to $3.53 in a matter of 3 days. That's crazy. Now, if we look at the 1 year here briefly, and by looking at this 1 year, we can see if we go to January 1st, MANA was only 8 cents. So congratulations to anyone that purchased around this time. And we can see this baby just started to move 30 cents, got up to around 50 plus cents, hit high 80s, 90s. Now it's around $1, and we can see it kind of retraced, built some support, and then this baby just shot up and haven't looked back. And so I just want to talk about something here briefly, which will go with some of the key features on why Decentraland is a top project in my opinion. And so if we look here at the market cap, 5.8 billion, let's look at the Metaverse. The entire Metaverse market cap is 34.6 billion. We can see the top three right here: Axie Infinity, Decentraland, and Sandbox. And so Decentraland has about 17% of this market share, by itself. Now, of course, Axie Infinity has more because the market cap is higher, and Sandbox, they're pretty much neck and neck when it comes to market cap. Sandbox 5.7, Decentraland 5.8. So it has about 119 million more in market cap at the time of this video. And so I just want to show you something here. I'm gonna pull my calculator up. So if we look here at the total market cap, I'm gonna copy this here. I'm gonna have to pull my calculator back up. We're gonna copy this, which is the entire Metaverse market cap, which is still extremely small. And now we're gonna paste that in here. And what we're going to do, check this out, minus 17%. What's that give us? 5.8 billion, which is what? The market cap of Decentraland. So we can see Decentraland controls about 17% of the market share of the entire metaverse just at the time of this video. And so I just wanted to show that, just to put some things into perspective, just to show you how big MANA actually is. Now, of course, you have Axie Infinity and you also have Sandbox as well, which are top metaverse projects in the space today. So now, what is Decentraland in simplest terms? Well, Decentraland is a fully immersive 3D virtual world where players can not only, interact with each other, play games, but they can also buy virtual goods, trade with each other, and then most importantly, one of their biggest focuses is digital real estate, and they've been very successful. They just had a recent sale of about 2.4 million for the sale of a piece of land, and that is massive. And this just shows you what's coming. Digital real estate is the future, and they have a big focus on that, and they've been very successful since they've been doing it. And so in simplest terms, that's what Decentraland is. They do have two tokens that power their entire ecosystem. MANA, which is the cryptocurrency you use to buy, virtual goods, buy your land, and everything else that goes on inside the metaverse with Decentraland. And then you have the land token, which pretty much owns your ownership of the land that you hold, rather you're renting it out or rather you're just holding it and building on it yourself, to monetize it or whatever you choose to do. And so now, based off of what I said, let's look at a little bit of literature just to kind of put things into perspective. Let's check it out. And so Decentraland is a decentralized virtual reality platform powered by the Ethereum blockchain. Within the decentralized platform, users can create, experience, and monetize their content and applications. Now we're going to come back to this section here, which breaks down more in detail what land and MANA is, the two tokens of Decentraland, but I want to go a little bit more in depth of what Decentraland is and what users can actually do. And so check this out here. Decentraland users can buy and sell digital real estate while exploring, interacting, and playing the games within this virtual world. Now, over time, the platform has evolved to implement interactive apps, in-world payments, and peer-to-peer communication for users. And now, in simplest terms, land is a non-fungible token known as an NFT used to define the ownership of land parcels representing digital real estate. And then we have MANA, which is the cryptocurrency that facilitates purchases of land as well as virtual goods and services used in Decentraland. And so that's in simplest terms what those two tokens are and what Decentraland are. Now, if you want to look a little bit more in detail, now you can skip this, but I'm going to briefly read through this just so you can kind of see what they are. And so the transferable 3D virtual space within Decentraland is called land. We know it's an NFT, and so land is divided into parcels that are identified by XYZ coordinates. Now, these parcels are permanently owned by the members of the community and are purchased using MANA, which we know is the Decentraland's cryptocurrency token. Now, this gives users full control over the environments and applications that they create, which can range from anything like static 3D scenes to more interactive applications or game. And so by looking at all of that literature, now we know what Decentraland is, what the use case is, we understand what the MANA token is, and now we understand what the land token is. And so now let's do a brief overview of what the website kind of looks like. And I'm going to briefly just kind of show you what the marketplace looks like, just to kind of show you what MANA will be purchasing. And there's also some land pieces in there as well. Let's check it out. And so here is Decentraland. Welcome to Decentraland. If you hit get started, it's going to take you to the play option. And one thing I like about Decentraland is you don't actually have to create an account. You can play as a guest, whereas with Sandbox you have to have an email. And so you have the explore section here, and then as we move down, here's the create section, which you can do pretty much anything you choose to. Then you have the trade, the virtual destination for digital assets, which are the in-game items. And so if you don't know where to start, they give you an option here. And so here is the marketplace. Decentraland's marketplace projects. Here are some of the newest items. Here you have some of the latest listings, and here are some of the parcels and estates that you can buy. So parcels is a single piece of land, and estates is more than one piece of land together, just to put things into perspective for you. And then these are different names, like avatar names, that you can actually use, if you don't want to use your own. And so that is Decentraland, kind of like in a nutshell. And so now let's briefly talk about why Decentraland, right? Why is Decentraland a top project? Why is everyone talking about it? Why does it have this hype, right? And so I'm just going to share with you a few key reasons on why I think. Now there are many more, but I'm just going to share with you a few key ones on that stood out to me. Let's check it out. So one of the first key reasons about Decentraland is it already has a working product. It already has a working game that is successful currently. And so one thing I do like, it's fully 3D immersive, where a lot of games today that are metaverse games, they are only 2D games, which there's nothing wrong with that. As we saw, Axie Infinity is a 2D game and already has over 185 million in revenue. And so we see right there, that's not stopping anything. However, Axie Infinity is a little bit different project than some of the upcoming projects that are only 2D compared to 3D. And so I do like that it's already working, it's successful, and you can play it and make money from it now. Now the next thing would be, which we already took a look at, is one of the top 3 metaverse projects, as I showed you, by market share. 5.8 million, which is about 17% of the entire metaverse space currently at the time of this video. The next reason will be the longevity of this company and project. The company was actually founded in 2015 and then launched in 2017 when they made their Decentraland DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which will help facilitate different things inside the ecosystem. Then we have the Grayscale investment backing, which is one of the biggest things for me. Now, if you don't know who Grayscale is, let me tell you briefly. Grayscale is the largest digital asset manager in the world today. They have about 60 billion assets under management, and they only have Decentraland as a trust fund for metaverse projects. Now they have a full, digital fund, but when it comes to individual cryptocurrency metaverse projects, they only have Decentraland. That is big for me. And so the last thing will be, which we briefly talked about, is it has a focus on real estate, the digital real estate side, and they've already been successful, as we've seen, with a 2.4 million land sale. Now, the reason why I think this is important is one thing to say a project has a focus on something, and it's another thing to see them being successful in that focus. And so I really do like this. Now, there are other reasons why Decentraland is a very good project, partnerships, other things like that, but these are just some key things that stood out to me. And so now let's answer the famous question. Is Decentraland a buy? Well, if you're asking me, quick disclaimer, I do own Decentraland. However, I wish I owned a lot more, kind of kicking myself on it because I saw what was coming when Grayscale added them. And I also mentioned that in my Patreon a while ago, as some of you remember, but I never pulled the trigger until recently. And I definitely think Decentraland is here to stay. And so with all that being said, if you're looking to buy Decentraland for the short term, with the metaverse, popping the way it is, and long as Bitcoin, doesn't pull back on us completely, I definitely believe we will see more gains in the short term from Decentraland. However, do your own due diligence before investing in any cryptocurrency, because remember, these videos are strictly for entertainment and educational purposes only. Now, when we look at the long term, I think that's the best buy, because when you look at how big the metaverse is supposed to be, we had Grayscale, we had Facebook, and a couple other people who said the metaverse is a $1 trillion asset class, or $1 trillion market value space. And with that being said, if it's only about 35 billion and it's supposed to be a 1 trillion market value in the next 3 to 5 years, think about how much growth is coming into the metaverse. And so in my opinion, yes, take profits when it makes sense, but for me, Decentraland is more of a long-term hold, because it's one of those projects that's going to have a lot of the market share as this metaverse starts to develop even more. And so with that being said, I don't want to sell out extremely fast, way before most of the potential unfolds, if that makes sense. So remember, you still got to do your own due diligence and figure out, why this project resonates with you if you don't already own Decentraland. And so most importantly, if you gain some value from this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button. And remember, if you want to get $25 free in Crow, check out the crypto.com link in the description below. But that's all I got for you. If you stay with me to the end, I want to say thanks for watching. Remember to stay inspired, stay motivated, always invest in yourself, and I'm out.